Okay, well, there's no time like the ever-present present. So we affirmed that this runs. We know it runs. Let us get the let's get it going. Okay, so we had a conversation where the shroud is 3D printed. You 3D printed it, and it was already cracked. I will do my absolute best to get it off. Oh, there it is. Okay, I will do my best to get that absolutely not broken again. There you go, and there it is, bottle cap style. I actually kind of like the bottle cap look. I really do. I think it looks kind of burly. You can see the sort of how similar, whoops, how similar these look, even though they're different movements. These watches were produced basically simultaneously. You know, they share a commonality. They even use the same handset. Different font though. Look at that. Big, thick, fat font. This is the classic Seiko diver font. This is more like Sumo. Wrong font, but I mean, it's thicker like that. Huh, weird. I'm gonna have to probably get in there with a razor blade. I don't see. Aha, I was wrong. Screw down, yeah, look at that. Oh, look at that. I don't know if you can see this, but your this rotating ring gasket got pinched at some point. Huh, interesting. Well, I'm gonna have to hunt one of those down. Your crystal looks really good. Obviously, I'm gonna pull it because I'm gonna want to look at the seals, but it looks pretty good. Let's get this wrapped up. Wait, why am I doing this? I already did this. There are some tool marks on the case back. Okay, so here's the big question. I don't remember right off the top of my head. How is the gasket done in the crown? Come on. There we go. Okay. I don't know what the crown gasket is for this thing. And it's going to have to be disassembled. It's one of the things with the 7Cs. I am just not sure what gasket that is, and I'm going to have to do some research to figure that out. There's your chapter ring. Yeah, that's what I was hoping it uses, strangely, this thing uses the same mail post as an Arnie, which I thought was pretty trippy. Damn it. I'm humming a song I only just learned about, even though it's from the late 60s. I'm trying not to hum. I'm really working on it. But it got into my head, and here we are now. The song is I See the Rain by The Marmalade. It's sort of a hippie, trippy, LSD, late 60s stuff. I've never heard it before. It's got some coolness to it. Some real coolness. Come on. Okay, let's go back in and we'll get this one. Yeah, The Marmalade. Later, just Marmalade. They still tour, apparently, but it's, as usual thing, they none of the original members are part of it. It's all various replacement partners. And they do the nostalgia tour circuit, which I didn't know was a thing. Damn it. I'm really trying not to hum. Anyway, it's interesting for me because the guitarist plays a right-hand Fender Stratocaster, but he's a left-hander, so like Jimmy. But interestingly, also, another person who does that was Elliot Easton of the Cars. Loose, and this guy's solos sound like Elliot Easton. I'm wondering if Elliot got some inspiration, considering that he was just a few years later. Loose. And here is this spring diddly here. There's your anti-magnetic plate. coil is out. There are your keyless works. All right. This is one of these things where you can actually disassemble the keyless works. This is the hacking lever here. Without, you have to take apart the train in order to get that lever out. Loose. Boy. And there's the remains of lubrication on there. It's kind of dirty, greasy. See, there's your hacking lever. Out, damned spot. For real? Come on. Old grease. Old grease. Get out. Okay. Okay, what's magnetized? My tweezers or the wheel? Both. Oh, come on. Ah. There it is, the heart of the movement. That is right there. Oh, stop it. One of the reasons it's super important to actually disassemble and clean one of these things rather than just fake it is that if there's anything even slightly metallic loose inside the movement, it will drift to this stepper motor and stick to it. And that will be, and then you have to physically clean it. There's no other option. No machine will remove anything. So I hand cleaned the stepper motors. Oh, right. No, I don't want to do that actually. There's your dial. No date on the back because they stopped doing that before this time. And your dial ring, if I can ever get a grab on it. Loose. Yeah. For real? Really? Come on. This set of tweezers. Beautiful vintage tweezers. They will not demagnetize sometimes. I just don't know why. Well, I got it that time. Only took 70,000 rounds of demagnetization to make it happen. And come here. What's nice about these is that the 7Cs still have, they didn't go to plastic wheels. They still have metal wheels, aluminum wheels. Biggest problem with the 7Cs is if the calendar section jams up because it'll destroy this wheel, this date driving wheel. I have seen that many times. many, 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 many times. Okay, so there it is. There's your 7C in pieces. You can see all the stuff here. Just like that. And all the parts are in here. So now it is time to fire up the washing machine. Okay, thank you. Okay, here we are after running in. So the 7Cs are not adjustable. They're pretty much set as they go. It's serviced as these quartz movements services, they run in, they tend to, their rate of loss gain tends to drop, tends to go down. So the way that this works, this is the handy dandy Seiko quartz tester QT99. It's my understanding they still use these. Fantastic piece of hardware, wonderful, lovely bit of kit. So what this is, well, I mean, it's basic decimalization. That's 1 second, tenths of a second, hundredths of a second. So right now you're gaining 6/10 of a second per day, a little bit more than half a second a day. Now your actual, it may come out, I don't know, it's hard to explain it. Sometimes 7Cs tend to be really accurate. So I'm not going to raise this as gospel and say this is exactly what kind of accuracy you're going to get. But it has been very, very steady, but it's also been dropping. Typically I see these and they're about a half a second per day. There is a way I can go in and snip wire and that changes the accuracy. I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to do that at all. I don't think it's important enough to risk the movement. I mean, I'm sure I could do it correctly. I just don't want to, because I don't think it's a good idea, and it's something that I wouldn't recommend because there's no way to undo it once it's done. Your shroud, it cracked, and it cracked again over here. So I've glued this together, but you're definitely, as you said, you printed this yourself. You're going to need to print another one. But I tell you, it's not a bad print. And if you print those and finish them a little bit more, I bet you could sell them. The rotating ring that with the new correct gasket in there has a nice light turn, but you can't really feel it too much because the shroud is interfering with the ring just a little bit. You would need to be relieved on the inner edge to let that go. I'm going to pull this up and it's going to go to 0, but that's okay. Serviced, new gaskets, NOS crystal. Yours was pretty good. Your crystal was pretty good, but I happen to have one NOS, which is NOS. With a perfect frosted bevel and everything else like that. These are really cool watches. I'm actually going to have to start looking for one of these. The crown makes me nervous as hell because they're impossible to find replacements for. So if you screw up the crown in any way, that's gnarly. Yeah, I'm definitely going to start looking for one of these. I'm definitely going to start looking for one of these. It's a good size. It has those Seiko proportions that I really like. 65, it's still holding. Has those Seiko proportions I really like. The same with all the tunas, where the dial and the things are slightly compacted, and the rotating ring is bigger because it's a large functional piece of the watch. It's a beautiful watch. This is really cool. I don't know, I haven't, like I said, I haven't ever seen one personally, so that's about it. So I'm going to put it all back together and we'll have a final thing and do it all that way.